Okay, good afternoon. This is Mr. Farrow, and this is the lesson video for week 3, lesson 2, Schoology and Skyward. I did this lesson because I wanted to give an opportunity to make sure that students are keenly aware of where to find things in Schoology and Skyward, because that way I feel like if we do this now at the beginning of the school year, because we're going to be using Schoology throughout the school year, even when we go back into the classroom eventually. And so I want to make sure that they are well versed on how to navigate through it, find assignments, find updates, find announcements, and then how it relates to Skyward and what they do there. This is both for my 6th and 7th grade classes. So both classes have gotten the same information. And the 7th graders are a little bit more advanced in terms of having used it, since they probably had it last year, at least with Skyward. And then my 6th graders are just getting used to it, getting into the whole system of middle school. So let's go through this. So the way every class will begin, make sure you have your notebook ready to go, but every class will begin by using the take and using the doing the daily warm-up, which will be a separate video for students to use. And so that's what that message is up there, because every class they'll have this will be up so they can see this, so you'll be able to say, so but just to want to reinforce to start beginning to do the daily warm-up at the beginning of class. So the red arrows indicate what you should be writing down in your book, and what do you know about Schoology and Skyward. The agenda is to review parts of Schoology and review how to get to Skyward, and the importance of knowing where to find the info. Our focus is always a let's type statement. Let's explore how to navigate Schoology and Skyward. And let me just do a quick demonstration of how I take notes. So instead of just writing down everything, I just write down what I need to know. So I'd say, let's explore Schoology, and then I put a slash there, Schoology and Skyward. That's how I would take notes. That way I don't have to write down every single word that the teacher has on the board. And that's one thing I'm going to be focused on this year, is teaching you how to take notes. So if you need to, stop the video here, write this stuff down, and that's the advantage of having the lesson video. You can stop and write things down. And the other part is the process. Get this out of here. The process, Schoology, writing that down. It's a learning platform. That's what we're using, like Google Classroom was last year for a lot of students. But here again, too, just demonstrating how I take notes, I would get rid of the find. I put like a little bullet point there. I'd write down materials, and then underneath it, I'd say assignments, quizzes, tests. That's what I'll find in materials. That's what you'll find there. And then I put another bullet point right here, get rid of the word find, and I'd say updates. And again, announcements and Mr. Farrow's Math Corner, or even just Math Corner, because I know Mr. Farrow, who he is. I don't need to right about that. But I just would say announcements and Math Corner. So, and then lastly, put another bullet point, get rid of the word find, put grades. And here, I know grades are grades, but missing assignments, that's important. I want to know more information about missing assignments. So this is how I'm demonstrating how I would take notes, what I would do and what I would eliminate, what I would write down, because I don't need to write down every word. Okay, so then we talked, and then during class, what we did then is we went to Schoology and we looked at all those different sections. And so, for example, you can take and go to Schoology, and you can look at, like, for example, the update section. Let's see if that'll work for me. Guess it won't. So anyway, go to Schoology, look at the materials tab. You're probably familiar with that because it's got your lessons in it. And then also updates. That's where you'll find all of Mr. Farrow's Math Corners. I do these Math Corners. They're 4-minute to 6-minute videos every day that just talk about general announcements in the class, trends I'm seeing that all of my classes are doing, that I'm going to say, hey, that way I can capture it in one moment, and then I upload it to updates. And then there you'll find it. And then the assignment you have for this lesson, you actually have to get in there and look and find some information from some of those updates, and look and watch some of those Math Corner videos. The point is that I'm trying to build a connection with you, and this is how I found the best way to do it. I started last year in the spring when we started remote learning, and I'm going to be carrying it forward into this year. Now, when we were during the class, we had a couple of polls, and one of the poll questions was, have you logged into Skyward this year? And of course, as I expected, my seventh graders I had about almost 98% have, but my sixth graders, I had about 75%. And that's normal because they're just not used to it yet. But Skyward is where you go to see your grades. It's where you go to look for your absences. And there are the tabs on the left-hand side of Skyward where you can find that. I'll make a little note of that right now. In Skyward, you have all these various tabs once you're in Skyward. I'll put Skyward up here. And you have like gradebook. And you have attendance tabs. The attendance tabs, you go and you see if you have any absences. And that way, if you can show you were in class, and with this system we have right now where you record yourself as attendance, you may want to check that. And then the gradebook is where you'll go to help find missing assignments and what your grades are for individual assignments and for each of your classes. And the message center is someplace where I go to and I send messages to parents every Friday, and a special math corner edition for the parents so they can find out what we're doing in class. Now, in missing assignments, I'm going to give you one more week to complete missing assignments. But the way it works is that Schoology transfers or syncs information to Skyward. So I enter the grades, create the assignments in Schoology. They're transmitted over to Skyward. And then when they're graded, and that doesn't happen right away, people. Right now, especially at the beginning of the year, I'm learning how to use Schoology and do different systems. So please be patient with the grading. It will be getting in there a few days after the assignment is due. But I also remember that I do grade different. I have 2 days though that have the same class. So be patient. And but Schoology syncs into Skyward. You'll have the next week from today. That would be this October. Let me see here in my calendar. October 2nd to get your late assignments in that have currently been assigned since the beginning of the school year. And then also too, when we're talking about assignments in Khan Academy, and also students need to understand in Khan Academy, it's not connected, it's not synced or connected to Schoology. So I have a Google Doc in there that says, yes, I have watched the videos and completed the exercises in Khan Academy. If you don't submit an assignment in Schoology, I can't give you a grade. Until then, it's going to be considered missing. So go to Schoology, read the instructions, follow the assignments. And then also the big one, if you have any missing assignments, you have another week, October 3rd, to get them done, or they're just going to become zero for the rest of the semester. So your assignment then is to go into Schoology and take a look at there's a Google Doc in there that asks questions that you can find the information in Schoology or Skyward. For example, one of the questions is, the first question is, I believe, in Mr. Farrell's Math Corner, what was the name of the pup of the day for episode number 3? So you're going to have to go to the updates section of Schoology, find episode number 3, watch it, and write down the name. Another one is about, in Skyward, it says, how many missing assignments do you have? You write that, you go into Skyward and find that out. And then, so there's 7 questions. All the questions you can answer by looking at in the various places in Schoology and Skyward. And if you have questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to help you. So this is Mr. Farrell. This was week 3 video lesson for daily lesson number 2. Take care.